Okay, so yeah, that will probably help. Thanks, guys. So to access all of these tools and things, where you're going to go to is 21online.com, and once you're logged in to 21online.com, it's going to first bring you to this page. Now, the very first time that you log into 21online, it's going to have a number of questions that it's going to ask you. And as you go through and answer the questions is what's going to decide what will show up on the dashboard. So what I mean by that is it's going to ask you like what your focus is and those, sellers versus buyers and all that kind of stuff. And then based on that, it will then create the dashboard for you to have all of this information that's on there.
Russ, focus.
Yeah,
You just
Is it not? Is it just?
I don't get on that.
You were moving that.
I was gonna say.
Oh, you're great.
All right, you guys tell me.
Other way.
one.
I don't know, is that getting better or worse?
Yeah,
That's better.
Getting a little
Yeah.
better.
I don't know that it.
For who? Put your glasses on.
That too far that way.
That,
Here, let me
no,
go really
we're-
fast
No,
and then
Perfect.
we'll slowly go.
That's good. That's
better, that's doable.
Keep going or is it good?
It's still rough.
Keep going just to see.
Great.
Go the other way further, see if it.
Like that's gotten
No.
worse.
No, worse, I think you're gonna
So,
be
tell
that
me.
right there.
That's
That
it.
is.
Yeah, sorry. I know something, I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah,
Maybe-
usually it's
or-
crystal clear.
I was gonna say it could be Zoom too, something with Zoom, I guess, but I don't know.
Come on, then, Jerome, get down.
All right, so so this is where you're gonna go to when you first log in and land you on the dashboard. Essentially, here's what I've found is for me, there's two ways to get to the tools. If you know specifically which tool you're looking for, you can come up here and just type it in up here in this search. Or what I typically end up doing is I pretty much as soon as I log in, I just go to menu. And then I go down here to Productivity Hub. Now, so just before I do that though, again, depending on what you're wanting to do within 21online, when you click on the menu, here's information about marketing a listing, about promoting yourself, working with clients, business planning. You probably won't have recruiting and stuff. But I pretty much, like I said, for me, 99% of the time when I go into 21online, I just immediately go to menu, Productivity Hub, and then that loads here all of the tools that we have and we use. So part of why too, I was asking if somebody had a listing is I have extra things showing on here than what you will have showing up. And so sometimes I don't know which, sometimes they are relevant only to management. Sometimes they're not. So anyway, so I'm going to go through the ones that are the main ones, but I'll kind of hit on pretty much everything that's on here. So for example, I'm going to skip over this apply for a target market designation because that's a marketing management kind of a thing. But this awards forms and criteria. So if you wanted to find out just, what you have to do to earn certain awards within Century 21, this is where you can go and click on and show you, what your production needs to look like. So if you're curious on that. The next one is this awards ranking. So awards ranking is going to be, let's see where we stand as a company. So if I click on that and go into it, this one is one you may at least want to keep an eye on, not only for yourself, but in terms of your marketing and stuff. That is bad, huh? I don't know. You're welcome to check it and see. I don't know. So anyway, here's what this will do is you can take a look at where you sit in terms of rankings, and you can do it by state or national. So I'm going to just switch it to national here, and then you can do it by individual producers and then by teams and offices and all those things. So let me just show you though, and the reason why I'm showing you all this is you potentially may want to use some of this when you're out working on a listing, okay? And that is Yeah, I
I'll
don't know.
bet. Yeah,
I don't know what the deal is. Sorry.
that's about it.
Yeah.
We'll just have
I'll
to
mess with it after.
rub our eyes
Yeah,
a
just
bit.
get closer, scoot further back. I don't know. All right, so but if I click on national and then look at offices and we go look at adjusted gross commission income, and I want to look at the final for last year. So I'm going to just click on view report, and you will notice that Century 21 Everest, this office is the #1 office in the whole Century 21 system. And so the reason why I point this out to you is that this potentially may be something that you would want to use, or at least keep an eye on to be able to show to your, when you go out on a listing presentation, that we are the #1 office in the whole Century 21 system across the whole world. So this is international. This is not just, these are the national rankings, but we are the international #1 office in the world. So the other thing that potentially you may want to do is just use it for like keeping track of your own production. So if you, for example, just said, okay, let's go based on the national for individuals, and let's just see where people are landing. And you'll notice here, if you could see, but it's Brian Burnett here is the #4 agent in the whole Century 21 system. He's down in our St. George office. Last year, his adjusted gross commission income was $2.8 million.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, out of St. George, right? So pretty cool. And you can see then that the top agent in the country was out of Treasure Island, Florida. It made $4.5 million. But so you can kind of just use this if you wanted to go through and just kind of see where the top 100 and who falls into those different categories and stuff. So anyway. And then same thing in terms of teams. If I did that real quick, you'll notice that the elite team, which is Dave Parker from this office, is the #1 team in the whole nation as well. So which this was his first year being #1. So anyway, kind of some cool stuff in there. And that's the all right. So that, again, let me close out of here. That is the awards ranking that shows up there. Next thing is Brand Studio. Brand Studio is going to be where you're going to go if you want to get logos, or really for you guys, that's pretty much what you're going to use. The company will go use this to get other things, but for you, Brand Studio is going to be where you would go if you want to get the Century 21 logo to use that. And there's tons of different versions that you could choose from and all that. So that's going to be in the Brand Studio. Next one down here is Business Builder. And Business Builder, so let me on Business Builder explain it this way. So we basically have available for you guys, there are essentially a number of systems in here that kind of do the same thing. And so this is one of those that if you wanted to use it, you can. I think this one will probably go away the end of this year. There's 2 of them that are going to go away at the end of this year. And this one is one of them. The thing that I do like on Business Builder, so I'll go in and just show you guys because you may want to use it.
Are they
Is
gonna replace it with something else?
yes, MoxieWorks, which we're gonna actually, we're gonna have full functionality of MoxieWorks on Monday. And on Tuesday, I'm gonna show you guys that system. So so today we really won't spend any time on MoxieWorks because on Tuesday, I'm gonna actually walk you guys through the whole system. But inside of Business Builder, so this is a CRM or a database that you could use to keep track of your people if you wanted to. Like I said, I think it's going to go away at the end of this year, but we'll see. They keep saying it's going to go away, but it never does. But I really think it will this time. But what I do like this for is the marketing stuff. So if you come over here to marketing within Business Builder and go to Marketing Center. So that's always for me in Business Builder. I'm going to go to marketing and the Marketing Center. And then from here, you can just decide what is it you're wanting to do in terms of the marketing things. Most of what you'll do will be spent down here, which would be the email and video marketing or print marketing. So if you wanted to create an email to send out some type of marketing by email, you would go into here. So if I click on that, you'll see it loads. There are 650 designs available for you to choose from. And so you could just type in a keyword here of what you're searching for rather than scroll through all 650 of these. if you wanted to. The other thing you can do is if you're wanting to make a flyer, so you're gonna send out an email marketing thing about your listing. If you click this listing enabled only, then it narrows it down to the ones that will automatically pull your pictures and everything into, so it'll create it for you. And you can see there's 15 to choose from. So let's just say I wanted to use this one. I'm gonna click on it. It brings me here to show me an example of what it looks like. And then from here, you enter either an MLS number or a street number. So I'm just gonna start to type in something here, and we'll just grab this one here. So if I had typed in either the MLS number or the address of the property, and then I can hit personalize. And it's going to now I picked a bad one there to choose from. There we go, that's better. All right, so you can see that what it's done now is it just went out and grabbed the MLS photos that are out there and it's dropped them in there. It's brought in the remarks that are in the public remarks from the MLS, dropped them in there. It's put my picture, all my information in there. Now, if I wanted to modify it, make some changes, I can come in here and just type in wherever and, start to type and change any of that. If I wanted to use a different photo than this one, if I click on it, it's one of two things that it'll do. And I don't know why or how it decides on this. One is if you click on it, it'll just bring it up like this, and then I can go to Mls Images. And now you can see here's all the pictures from the MLS that I could go and just say, okay, I want to use that picture instead. And it's now replaced it. The other way that it will do it, and like I said, I don't know how it decides. Sometimes you just click on this and it'll automatically open this. Other times it'll bring up a little drop down here that you'll have to select from, like that you could crop the picture or whatever. And then one of the options is replace, and you click replace, and then it'll bring this up. So I don't know why, I don't know if it's based on how they built the flyer or what, but anyway, so you just would make any changes that you want to in there, hit save, name it whatever you want, hit save. And then I can exit out of here, and now you'll notice it's got this compose email, or I could do publish to web and share. So if I wanted to share it on social media, I would do publish and share, and then you can see I could go into any of these social media, or I can copy this link here and go drop it into if I was wanting to use one of the ones that's not. Make sense?
If you wanted to print it, what would you do? Just.
Well, this one is an email.
That's
This one's only
email
digital.
only.
So this
Okay.
one you can't. So I'll show you next how to
Okay.
do that. So I'm going to go back here to this marketing and
Choose.
oops, let me just do it this way. So we'll go back to marketing center, and I'm going to do print marketing.
Okay.
So same thing, if I do a listing enabled, it brings up the 90 that are available for that. I'll just choose this one. Same thing, I would come in here, put in an address of a property, personalize. You can see it just go, that's what I do like about Business Builder is you can create stuff just like that. And then if I want to change the photo, yeah, see now on this one, when I click it, it brings up these three. So here's replace, here's crop or delete. So if I hit replace, then it brings this up. Then I could go say, okay, I want to use that picture instead. Same thing with this one. That picture, whatever. So I make whatever changes I want to. Same thing with all this. Save. Once it's saved, then I can exit out, and then right here is where I could download the PDF, and then when I download it, I can print it. So, or the other option is through Express Docs. You can also have them, like, so where this one is a postcard too. You could have them, you decide this one's free paper, but the finish that I have on here, if you wanted, apparently those are the only options on this one, but so decide how many you want, and it'll show you how much it would cost, and they will, Express Docs will make those and send them to you. Let's see, is there anything else from Marketing Center to show you? I mean, pretty simple, straightforward. Just come in here, decide what you want, and click on it, and then go through. So
So Russ, does the market leader, because I know that's kind of separate from business builder in a way. I mean, it's a separate, you can get that on your own. I mean, outside of this.
Yeah, market leader you could get.
Are they gonna have a different marketing option than with the Moxie Works? I know
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we'll have a
Yeah,
similar option.
although as of right now, it doesn't have as many options to choose from, so, yeah, in fact, I'll pull it up and show you that, because I'll show you that piece today, because I wasn't gonna do that on Tuesday, so I'll show you that today. I'll show you what they do have available right now. All right, so that was Business Builder. Next one is business cards. So if you want to order your business cards, this is where one of the places you could go and do that is right here in this on this. I usually say always check like a Vistaprint or something as well, because you may get it cheaper through like Vistaprint, but those are the different options that you have available. Global Referral Network, you're not going to use because we have our own referral department. Some Century 21s, the ones that aren't as big as what we are, don't have their own relocation department, so they'll use this, but we've got our own relocation department here on the 6th floor that you would work through. The C21 Marketplace, this is where you can go and buy different products and stuff that are Century 21. Same with the promotional shop here. Century 21 University. This actually, let me just go ahead and show you on this. This is a pretty good resource that a lot of agents don't ever use. But Century 21 University, if you go in there, you can find all kinds of different trainings available. So if you're wanting to get a little bit more training on something, you can come into the C21 University and you can see you got these different options for agent development or leadership development. Typically for me, I just click on Learning Library here. And then from here, you can do a search for whatever you want. So if I wanted something on negotiation, let's just say. So if you start to type, you can see here's the 7 negotiation skills that will change your business. And then you could go click on it. It's a virtual training that you could do. So you can see some of these, it'll show as self-paced, some are virtual. Every now and then they will offer on here classes that you can get designations. So if you were wanting to earn any designations, you know, all the letters after your name, they will occasionally offer those in here. They're usually at a reduced cost than what you would pay somewhere else, but those ones you do have to pay for. Pretty much everything else on here is going to be free that you can go through and do. So for example, if I wanted to learn more about like Moxie Works, I can type in Moxie here and then you'll see this Moxie Impress is what you were asking about, Rebecca, which is this is where you could go in and do flyers and stuff. And so they've got a training here that would take you through all those as well. So pretty much anything you want. Last time I went and looked to see how many classes total they had on here, it was like 500 and something. Like there's so much on there. So anyway, that's Century 21 University. So if you're ever wanting to get a little more training on something that you feel like, you know, you just want to spend some time on, jump in there. The Century 21 Tracker is a fairly new app, and to be honest, I haven't actually used it, so I can't say it's good or bad. But the idea of this is it's a way for you to help your clients to keep track of everything that's happening in their house, on their house. So probably would be good to jump in and mess around with and see if you like it and want to use it. I don't know many agents that do, but it's also still fairly new. But anyway, so that's what this is. This dash you won't have to worry about if it even shows up in your 21 online, but if it does, it won't let you in. So I don't think so. Discounts and perks. This is another one that's good to be familiar with. So let's go into this. These are just different business benefits that are available. And so you'll see here, there's different ones that are for your office, for your customers, or for your listings. And so for your customers, if you were to go into that, here's the different things that are available for them. You know, you can get them discounts on renting a truck from budget. You can get car rentals, pods, Century 21 home protection plan, stuff like that. So not a whole lot on there for your customers. For the office, these are the different things that are available. So usually I use this as a time to say, like for example, with well, this is saying long distance, but if whoever your cell phone provider is, there's a pretty good chance you can get a discount because of being with Century 21. So if you go in and talk to them, you should be able to take a business card in and they'll give you a little bit of a discount for being with Century 21. And we used to have all the information on here for it. It's like, but go talk to your cell phone provider because, and then I don't remember what was under for your listings. Let's see. Not much. So anyway, those are the different discounts and perks. Events website, we'll just talk about any of like, so for example, this month is the convention for Century 21 down in Las Vegas, where we will get the award for being the top office and stuff. And this would just show, you know, what types of events Century 21 has going on, which is fine. This financial benchmark study, I don't know that that's something that's available for you guys or not, but same with iProspect. This is more for recruiting. Lead router is going to go away soon, but just so that you guys know what lead router is if somebody goes on to century21.com and they were to request information on your listing, then you'll get a phone call. It'll call your cell phone and it's lead router that actually will do that to call and say, hey, you've got a lead on your property. Somebody wants to contact you, but that actually goes away the end of this month, I think. Might be next month, but it's being replaced by something called Leads Engine, which is just a little bit better. Lead router is at least 15 years old. it's and in the technology world, they've got their money out of it basically. All right. Let's see. I'm going to skip over some of the rest of these because we're not really going to use them. So Moxie works. So like I said, on Tuesday, right now we have access to Moxie Impress and Moxie Present. But on Monday, we will then have access to Moxie Engage. I believe we'll have for the website as well. But I'm not positive on the website one. But they're going to start doing trainings and stuff. And I will start doing trainings for our company, which we're going to do on Tuesday. So it'll be released on Monday, and then I'm going to train you guys on it on Tuesday, which I'm pretty excited about this for a CRM because I've loved the Zap system, but there's a few things that Zap that I don't dig, and Moxie Engage is going to have those things. So anyway, something to look forward to for Tuesday is that I'll be able to show you guys what we have and how it all works with that. So Moxie Impress, we already talked about, is where you can do flyers. So I'm going to go in and I will show you that real quick. So I wasn't planning on doing much with this one, but works pretty similar to what I was showing you with Business Builder. So any of these that you click on for, go back to the Moxie, it doesn't really matter which one of those I click on. They're all going to take you to this same basic dashboard here. And then from here at the top is where you'll actually choose which one you want. So I'm going to click on the Impress here. And this one, like I said, I like Business Builder as of right now for only one reason. And that's because there's just not a whole lot on here yet. So like, for example, if I go to flyers, there's one to choose from. So they are Century 21 National is going to work on that, but then also our marketing department is going to start to create more flyers that we'll have available here. So that's why the only reason right now I'm saying I like Business Builder better is only because you only got one to choose from here. So if you're not picky, then this is great. But same concept here. I would just click on that. This is the design I want. Hit select the design, it's going to come up, you would name the project, search the address or the MLS number, and then you'd save and continue, it's going to load it. It just works the same concept of what I showed you guys before.
Hey, Russ, is Business Builder going to be still available when this is on, or are they?
Yes, no, Business Builder, at least through the end of the year, we'll still have Business Builder, potentially longer, but they're telling me Zap is going away at the end of the year. So my assumption is that Business Builder will at the end of this year as well. But so the nice thing is we will keep it there. Century 21 will keep it there until we get this other build out enough. So yeah. So the good news is as that happens, you'll kind of have two different you could choose from. So you can go find which one you like best and then choose from there. So, and then the Moxie Present, since we're in here, I'll just kind of show you. is, this is more of a CMA program. And so this is the Fine Homes and Estate one. Go into it here and I'll just kind of show you. But this is very, very simple to use as well. So you would go through and just put in the information about the property here first off, and you can pull it in from the MLS if it exists. But otherwise, you just go through and fill out this information. You would hit continue. Then from here, you're going to go through and pull up the properties. So it pulls up somewhat for you. Here's some potential properties, but you can use the filters here to narrow it down to what properties you want. You would go through and select the properties you want, which you just click on this to select it. Once you've done that, you hit continue. It brings up, this is the order they're going to be displayed in, so you can rearrange the order if you like, but if you're good with the order, then you just say continue. Brings up the pricing to show you, so you can adjust it, change the price here if you want. You can create a range if you wanted, and put in a range or a percentage here. So if I just said, 4%, calculate. So then it would give me a range for the price there, or just leave it as an estimated price there. You can also do an estimated net seller's proceeds here, to where you could go through and put in the fees that they could expect to pay. And then you're going to hit continue. And then it brings you up to take a look at what it's going to look like. So I didn't have a picture in here, which would have that in there. Here's the map, property summary, listing overview. So here's the properties that I pulled in to use, a site-by-site comparison, status comparison, so you can see all the pendings, the solds that are there, averages. So you just see all this information. My job is to, and then, so it's a great listing presentation, basically, if you want to use that as what this Moxie Present is. So this exciting stuff.
Totally.
Yeah,
I
I
hate
like it.
just FYI, I hate teaching technology stuff because it's so hard to like get you engaged, and everybody, we're so like, some people are like, speed it up already, and others are like, wait a minute, how do you log in?
Yeah.
You always get that. How do I log in? All right, so that's all the Moxie stuff. Like I said, on Tuesday, I'm gonna on Monday it'll be available. You guys can get in and get to it. On Tuesday, I'll show you how it all works. Next one is the My C21 site. So this one, again, remember I said that we have a number of databases. We also have a number of websites, because Business Builder has its own website if you wanted to use it. Moxie has its own website that you'll be able to use. Zap has its own website. And then there's also this My C21 site. So I used to go through and would teach you how to do the My C21 site. But honestly, as good as this one can be, and what I mean by that is, if you're into like creating and designing it, you want to spend a ton of time on that, this would be the site for you, is to go in and use the My C21. If you want to make it really unique and different than other people's, way different, you could do that here. The rest of them are going to be pretty boilerplate. You're choosing a template and it sets it up for you. So just know that is available if you're wanting to do that. I don't know many that do. And so like I say, I used to do some training on it because it used to be really the only thing we had. And it was a great way to do for a website. But now I'm kind of like, I think the other ones are better. So this My Listings would just track your listings, so you can go through and see what listings and things, so you're really not going to use it much. Next, Preferred Client Club. This one's a good one to know about. So really, and I probably should have said this at the start of the class, I'm going to give you guys this big overview, but there's really only probably 4 or 5 tools on here that I'm like, you're going to use these. This one is one you should use. It's Preferred Client Club. Okay, so let me go into it and show you what it is. So the Preferred Client Club, the idea of this, there is a cost to it, but I think for the money, it's way worth it. So anytime you want to add somebody, and typically agents will just do it for clients that they've closed on a home, but it doesn't have to be that. So you can go add anybody you want to in this. And how it works is this. if you want to put them on this preferred client club for 2 years, it's going to cost you $25 a person or $12.50 per year, kind of a thing, per person that you put in. That's for 2 years. The gold plan gives you 5 years for $43 or $8.60 a year, but it's going to do some marketing to your people for 5 years. Or there's this platinum, which is 7 years. So you can put the people on there and into this, you pay that fee and then bam, let it go. But here's what you get for it. So every year, what's going to happen is 4 times a year, they're going to get a personalized issue of the At Home with Century 21. It's a magazine, basically. Think of it as kind of like a Better Homes and Gardens type of a magazine, but it's specific for Century 21 and it's personalized. So it's going to have you on like the back of the magazine. It's going to have your picture and stuff. So 4 times a year, you get that for either the 2 year, the 5 year, or the 7 years on that. Then once a year, they're going to send them a calendar as part of the preferred client club that's going to have a calendar that has, you on there. And then twice a year, they'll also get a personal note and mail from you that's a greeting card kind of a thing. So anyway, it gives them what? That's 4, 6, 7 touches per year for that. So anyway, I think it's a good deal for the amount of money that you're going to do. And like I say, a lot of times people will do it. You may not want to take 100 people and put them on it, but if you just did it with everybody that you closed on a property, you at least know for 7 years you're going to have 7 touches every year with them, even if you don't do anything else. So anyway, so that's preferred client club. I think that one's a good one. PR Studio is where you can go and create press releases, stuff like that if you wanted to. Typically companies will use it, not so much the agents. Quality Service Awards. So this is where you could go and track your results for the Quality Service Award, which is tied to this Real Satisfied. So the Quality Service and Real Satisfied are tied together. So Real Satisfied is one that you're going to want to use. And like I said, the Quality Service Award is one, and I don't know how many of you guys went to the awards ceremony that we had last month. I wasn't there actually. I was in, I don't know where it was, somewhere, somewhere out of state. But there are very, very few people, even the top producers in our company, very, very few end up earning the Quality Service Award. And so that's something you should strive to do, is to get that Quality Service Award. And the reason I say that is because then you can use that as, like, I would guess within our company, there are probably 3, maybe 4 people that earn the Quality Service Award. So that's, again, something you could use to promote yourself as to, hey, out of what, 500 agents at our company, only 3 got this award and I was one of the 3, or however you want to promote them. But the way you earn the award, though, is through Real Satisfied. So what happens is this: every time you close on a property, your client is going to get an email to fill out a survey about you. And there's 2 reasons you want to do that. One is to get this Quality Service Award, but the other reason you want to have them fill it out is that then allows also you to get the reviews that you can then market on your website of, here's my 5-star reviews, or, whatever it ends up being. And that's done through Real Satisfied. So let me go in there and I'll show you what that looks like. So when you click on it to go into Real Satisfied, and if you want to learn more about this, there is this video here that you can click on and watch that will walk you through it. It's, I don't know, 5 minutes long or something, but it'll walk you through this system in a little more detail than what I'm going to, because I'm probably not going to give it 5 minutes, but part of it is this: as people do a review, you can have it published to realtor.com, Facebook, and Twitter are the different options that you have that you can post your reviews to. But the main thing you're going to use this for is you're going to come in here to keep track of what's happened with it. So you can see here the people that have had reviews sent to them and then what they've done with it. So you can see this one was sent to Mark, but he didn't ever fill it out. So if I wanted to resend that to him, I could click on it and just click resend, and then it's going to send it to him. But here's what I've found. Your best thing to do is going to be at your closing. Tell the client you're going to receive an email in the next few days to do a review on me. and just tell them how important it is. It's really important because I'm trying to earn this quality service award. And then what I found too is if you will say to them, is there any reason you couldn't give me the very top, 5 stars, basically rank me the highest that you can as you fill out that survey. And if there is, then deal with it so that you can get them to. But what you'll find is most of the time they'll say, no, I think you did a great job. Great. So when you get that survey, when you fill it out and make sure to give me the highest remarks or whatever. And what I found is if you'll do that, they're more likely to fill out this survey when they get it. If they don't, so like this one on Mark, what you would want to do is I would say, give them a call and just say, hey, I don't know if you missed it, but I'm going to resend it to you. Will you let me know if you don't get it or whatever? And if you fill it out for me, it would be really important, would really help me out a ton, whatever. But so then you would click on this, hit send, and bam, it'll send it out to him again. So you can see on this one that he did fill it out and completed it, which I would love to resend to this guy another one and say, can you fill it out on me again? And here's why I say that. He bought last February, and we first went under contract on the property though, I think in December of 2020. And he had called me a few months before that and said, we're not ready to buy yet because we have a lease until July of 2021, so last year. And he said, but what do you think? What's going to happen with the market? We're worried because home prices have gone up so much that part of us is saying we should just wait till our lease is up because maybe the prices will come down. What do you think? And I said, absolutely not. Like, you need to buy now. Now, this was before the market went haywire. And it was about right after he closed that then things just went nuts. So I would love to have him do a review now because I'm sure he is. I'll bet his house is, oh yeah, it's gone up dramatically. I mean, it had already gone up by the time we closed, but since then, holy cow. So anyway, that's this. So you can see here, this is my sister. I can't get her to fill it out on me for some reason. Maybe I should be grateful. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you can see, you can kind of go through and fill the, just request, this one's awaiting details. I don't know. Oh, this client didn't have an email address. So he couldn't send it out because she didn't have an email address. I think that was the same with this one too. Yeah, I worked with a few old people and they don't have emails, so.
How did you get them to fill out the contracts? Like, just have to take it to them?
Probably take it and then
Person.
sign. I have something like that.
Yep.
Need the copy in front of them and sign it.
Yeah, although for me, it wasn't that big of a deal because most of my career, that's how I did it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a deal, but yeah, it can be a pain of, and especially this lady, this one. So her husband died and that's why she ended up selling, but she ended up moving in the process of it. So this was all during COVID and she was over here in this retirement community and like every time I went, you like had to take a shower basically
Yeah.
just with Lysol to get into the place. Like, and
Yeah.
it would always be, I'd go get a signature and then the next day they'd be like, we need another signature. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, it was kind of a pain. Would have been much easier to do it via email. All right. So any questions on Real Satisfied?
Do you know what the criteria is as far as the service award?
Let's see. If I remember right, I don't know if it shows in here, if it tells us. Basically, here's what it is. So you have to have a minimum of 8 of those filled out. So you have to have a minimum of 8 filled out in the year. And they have to have 80% of that 8 has to give you like the highest mark.
It just has to be like what, over 4.8 or
5 stars.
Yeah, it has to just be I can't
5.
remember, is it stars that I don't even remember what it is.
I don't either. I got it the first year I was here and I've never been able to get back.
The quality service award you did? Yeah.
Accidentally.
Well, good job. But yeah, you have to have a minimum of 8 closings and then I think your score has to be a minimum of 80% or something like that, so. But you can see, I mean, like the people who do take it seriously will typically get pretty good and then after that, you'll see it drops off pretty good. So anyway. Yeah, so like I say, that's kind of a cool award because not many people end up getting it, so. All right, Ari Scoreboard. This is used in conjunction with the Century 21 University. So if you did one of the classes in there and they asked you to do so many contacts or whatever, this is where you'd keep track of your contacts and appointments and all that kind of stuff. This is a business planning tool, which we don't really use because we have our own, but so you know it's there. Social ad engine, if you want help in doing marketing on like Facebook, stuff like that, social marketing, social network marketing, this is where you would go to do that. And I think it's through AdWorks, but you can click in here and they'll help you design ads and do all that kind of stuff. So, all right, next one though. This is another one of the 4 or 5 that you really want to become familiar with. And this is Golden Ruler, okay? So I'm going to go into this one for you to see this. What Golden Ruler does is Golden Ruler keeps track of all the views that your property is getting online. And it creates for you a way to go in and send to your client a report showing them what's going on with their property. So this one is one you want to use and get set up. So on the dashboard here is just showing like here's on, and I think this is maybe potentially showing for our whole company. Yeah, because it says last 30 days, the number of views we've gotten on Zillow is 156,000 for total all of our properties. So you can go through and do that. This here is the listings. So if I click on listings, so this would show your listings. So because I'm an administrator, I can see kind of everything. But this is where you would go in to set that up. So you would go here to say, okay, I want to set up the seller report. So if I clicked on this one, it brings it up and you would just put in the seller's first and last name, their email address, to carbon copy you. Here's the body of the email, what it's going to say. And then you can have it include the metrics from competing brokers so that they can kind of see what are other people getting on theirs versus what you do. Or you could do the do not include those metrics, which the default I think is do not include. And I probably would say not to, just because if we don't look as good, that's not going to be good. So I mean, and I'm not saying we won't, but just check it before you do that is what I'm saying. So include lead inquiry metrics. So you can have it include as long as there has been at least one on there. You can say always include it, even if there's no leads, or include the never include it. So I usually recommend to do the never include. The only reason I think that is I just always feel like it doesn't look as good if you're sending it and you're like, hey, look at all these views we got and we got no leads. Now, to some extent though, that could be good if you're wanting to use that as a way to get a price reduction to say, look at all these views and nobody's coming back to do it. So anyway, just decide what you want to do there. And then here's where you're going to decide on how often you want it delivered. My recommendation is to send it to them weekly. So do send weekly, and then you would just click submit, and then it'll be set up and you can forget about it for the rest of that listing, at least in terms of you having to go in here, it'll automatically send it. And as long as you have this box checked here, the CC agent, you'll get every time it's sent to the client, you'll get a copy as well so that you can look at it and before you call them to talk about basically, hey, did you notice we got more views or less or whatever? So anyway, so that's that. Let me click on this so you can just see what the report looks like. So when it goes to your client, this is what it's going to look like and it'll have your information, and it shows the top 10 websites that are and how many views. You can see here, like on this one, he's had 742 views, but 1 lead off of it. And then this shows the top cities where your views are coming from. And then if they want to see more of the client, they click on this and it will load them to the page to where they can actually go through and see, the number of views that we're getting and all that kind of stuff, kind of what the trend is. Has a heat map to see where most of the views are coming from. So which is kind of interesting on this is for whatever reason, Phoenix, a ton of people are looking on that property from Phoenix too. So anyway, that's Golden Ruler. So that one's a great tool that you for sure want to get set up and weekly, just have that going to your clients so that it's giving them feedback as to what's happening on the property. Okay. Toolkit CMA. This one really will be replaced by Moxie Present, which I already showed you, but that's basically a CMA tool, just like Moxie Present is. Moxie Present's a lot simpler than what Toolkit CMA is, so I'm probably not even going to really say much else about it. other than if you do want to get more information on it, let me just click on it and I'll show you. What I typically recommend to do is if you'll come and click on Toolkit CMA, it'll load you into their page here, hopefully. And then usually what I recommend to do is if you guys want more on it, come to support. And there's this view samples, run demo. That you can go in here and do a request a walkthrough. So if you do want to learn more about it, just come here and do request walkthrough. You'll plug in your information, 2 dates and times that you are available, and then they'll choose from one of those and get back to you and walk you through on it. So, and they'll take you through a walkthrough, which is, it's a one-on-one kind of a thing. So it's not like a class, like they're there to show you and walk you through. All right, next one is unique property websites. This one's the one that I was hoping we had somebody that had a listing that I could have them log in, because we can't really see or do a whole lot with it. But here's what I'll just tell you basically what it is unique property websites. Every time you take a listing, Century 21 creates a unique website for that property. And now it's really just a subdomain to Century 21's website, but the subdomain is basically the address of the property .c21.com. And then what'll happen is and what I recommend, how you want to use this is you go into here and get the link for the page for that website. And then what I recommend doing is telling your client you're going to send them the link and ask them to share that link on all their social media, which essentially you're asking them then to go promote you is really what you're doing, but you're promoting the listing, but it's also promoting you to all of their friends and family at the same time. So that's like a huge thing that I think is what's so good about this. But the other thing you can do off of this is we automatically, Century 21 creates a YouTube video. Basically what they do is they take your pictures from the MLS, they're going to take the data from the MLS, like numbers of beds, baths, square footage, all that kind of stuff. And they create a YouTube video that it's basically music, but then it's got somebody talking, saying this home features 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it's showing the pictures from your MLS at the same time. It's kind of cool actually. And you can actually have that, they have it to where you could change it and create it in Spanish as well. So you can do that for English or Spanish on the video.
So that's done right when you get your listing then, right?
Yeah, once it's all input into the system, then it creates it.
How long does that take from this point? Does it transfer from the MLS into this, or do we have to do that?
No, you don't have to do anything.
So you have to wait for it to matriculate
Yep.
into here.
Yeah, it's like 48 hours or whatever from when it goes on the MLS. I don't, it might be 24,
A
but
couple of days.
yeah, a couple days, and then you just could come in here, get the link, call your client, and even just tell your client at the listing, hey, we're going to create a unique website just for your property. I'm going to get you the link, which, like I said, it ends up being the address of the property .c21.com, and then just say, I'm going to send it to you. Please go on and share it to all your friends and family, letting them know your house is for sale, which is good. I mean, we want to do that for sure, but it also then is promoting you as the agent. So anyway. So this is where you would come in to get all that, and you can do some modifications to the website through this and print a flyer and stuff if you want off of that too. So, all right, virtual open house live stream. Really, this was something they created more for during COVID, which pretty much everybody's doing, just back to regular open houses if you're doing them. So, but anyway, that is available. Express Docs, again, another place you can go in and get flyers and stuff if you wanted to. There is a fee on those ones though. And then the last thing on here is the Zap login, which, like I said, typically I would spend a little bit of time on that, but where we're going to start into Moxie, and this one they already have said is going away at the end of the year. I'm just not going to worry about showing you it today. So, all right, any questions on any of that? Here's the biggest thing I would say. Just get in here and play around with it. So just come in here and anything that you want to see, like if you wanted to go into this, just click on it. go into it and just start messing around. You're not gonna hurt anything, so, you're not gonna mess anything up. Which, my wife called me this morning right before class and said, I think I messed up our QuickBooks. And I'm like, what do you mean? She sent me a screenshot and it's like all gone. And I was like, awesome, glad you're.
Thanks for
did that."
sharing.
Yeah. So good news is we did have a backup. I walked her through and it was backed up as of 7 o'clock last night. So we're good. But my point is, you're not gonna do that if you get into here. So just get in here and play around and see what you can find. The other thing is, if for some reason you don't find or you feel like you want more on it, always go to C21 University and you can type in whatever the tool is on here. There's probably a self-paced class that they'll walk you through as well. So
Is there an easy way to, on the C2 University, to find the classes that are in your destinations?
yeah, well, like I say, they don't, it's more of one of those
Yeah,
things, they do
yeah.
it from time to time,
Yeah.
but, what I would probably say to do is just go into it. And then if you go to search the library. I probably, for me, would start by typing in designation, in which there's nothing there. So then I would say like try GRI, which there's nothing there, or CRS. The one that I see, that it seems like that I've seen them do the most on here is senior real estate specialist, I think SRES. Yeah, looks like there's, so yeah, there's outside of what I've just shown you right there.
But that's, so you just check that every once in a while.
Yeah, that, or occasionally what'll happen is Century 21 will send out an email that just says, we're gonna be offering this designation in there. So like I say, it's not often, but time to